This box has been sitting in the corner of my garage for about 14 years. Instead of throwing it away, I decided to try to make some use of it with the help of my OLM3 laser. This seemed like a good project to test my first laser finger box. My plan here was to figure out how to get this plastic holder into the box. Then I'd be able to hang that box on my French cleat wall. The main problem was that this plastic tray was not square, so it would not fit into the finger box I was planning to make. But I was able to fix it with my table saw, and it actually turned out pretty well. So, here's a quick look at the finished holder I made out of 3mm tempered hardboard. I did, however, discard the old tips and replace them with Makita tips. I've been using this for a while now, and it's worked well in the workshop. I prefer to keep all of my tools visible and hanging, so that I can quickly grab them when I need them. These boxes also allow me to detach them from the wall and move them closer to the projects I'm working on. So let's get started on the build by going to the Boxes Pie, which is an online box maker that seemed to be the best of the bunch. If you have a better one, please let me know in the comments. There are numerous possibilities here, but I'm going to try to make a simple box with a bottom. So I simply clicked on the box text and chose the first option, which was a simple box. When I clicked on that option, the page A box appeared. Now I am presented with numerous input boxes available here. I've already taken the necessary measurements with my digital caliper. So I'll simply enter them here. I will uncheck the outside box, since I require the inside measurements to match mine, and not the outside. Next I will select the option H edge, as I want the bottom to be raised up with finger support. The thickness of my tempered hardboard is 3mm, so I will just leave that box alone since it's already correct. I will uncheck the labels box, since I do not want those on the graphics export, as this is optional. And will disable the reference box by typing 0, as this is not needed and optional. From here you can click on the Generate button, and see what you created. As you can see, it will generate an SVG preview in your web browser. I want to make the box with less fingers, so let's go back to the previous page where I changed this. At the top there is settings for the finger joints, so I will click on that. The default setting for the finger size is 2mm, and the default spacing is 2mm. So I will change both these numbers to 10mm, to make larger fingers and spacing, which will make assembling the box easier. Now I will click on the Generate button again, and we can see what the box looks like. Everything looks good, so we will head back to the design page. This time I will click on the Download button instead. This will now download the SVG file to your computer. Then all we need to do is import the SVG file into Lightburn and change the cut line layer to the proper cut settings. After that, I began to cut out the finger box in Lightburn. I'm using 3mm tempered hardboard, which is available at Lowe's or Home Depot. The 3mm tempered hardboard cuts easily, and my settings for this are: power set to 80, speed is set to 300, and I use 2 passes with air assist. Next I simply assembled the pieces that I cut out. I did not glue them as the fit was quite tight, and maybe just a little too tight, with the default 1.0 setting. In the future I would start dialing this back to 0.090, but this would be a trial and error process, with whatever material I am using. From there I just used the downward force with my hands on the table, and also used a block of wood to tap the pieces of tempered hardboard together. Again, this is my first time here, but I would definitely dial back the settings to make the joint a little looser. Eventually I was able to get everything together without breaking any of the pieces. We can take a closer look at the box and see everything is looking pretty good. We can now examine the box more closely and find that everything appears to be in good shape. Nothing was broken during assembly, since everything fits together properly at the finger joints. The tempered hardboard edges Also cut with the laser incredibly clean, and don't appear to have left any ash or residue behind. They appear to have a sealed edge, and truly appear to have melted the adhesive or resin. I did add some wood glue into the inside of the box, but I do not think it was necessary. Then I test fit the plastic tray by inserting it into the box, and shot a couple of pin nails into the sides to hold the box in, which worked quite well. Finally, I simply added a cleat to the box's backside, so I could hang it on my wall. To fasten the cleat, I used some wood glue and 3/4-inch staples. Although it is not visible in the video, I placed a small piece of wood inside the plastic tray for the staples to latch onto. I also added a thin piece of tempered hardboard to the top of the cleat, to give it a slightly more polished appearance. As you can see, they worked out quite well, and I'm glad I didn't just throw them away. They have been really productive in the workshop where I have been utilizing them. As you can see, I used smaller fingers to create the first box, which made it more challenging to put together. Although this was my initial try, I think I like the one with the larger fingers more. As I create more of these for my French cleat wall, I'll gain more knowledge. And like always, keep on burning and keep on creating. And stay tuned. Till next time, see you later.